Hey everyone, my name's Sue Brooke and it is April 2nd, 2025, and this is our, I think, 12th or 13th episode. What is it, Chuck, for the Member Success Series? I can't
I
remember.
believe I feels like 12, but
Is it
yeah,
12? Yeah.
it's been a lot. Yeah.
So I'm here with my awesome co-host Chuck, who and we've been doing this. We did this a long time ago, and then we brought it back, and so we are here
Right.
every single Wednesday, at this exact time, and you can register for all the upcoming ones, or you can binge watch it too. Also, I post the links in the chat. We have a YouTube that has all the past events. Today we have some really special guests today. So we're going to just go around and quick introductions, just your name, maybe what the name of your business, and then how about a fun fact? So I'll go first, Sue Brooke. I work for Alignable now, but I've been a member for a long time. And but fun fact, I think everybody already knows this, but I spent the last 4.5 years living and traveling in my motorhome all over the country. I did 46 states, 47 states, something like that, and a little bit of Canada. And I love my life living in my motorhome and traveling. So that's my fun fact. Chuck, go next. Do you have a new fun fact this week?
I need to come up with a new fun fact. I definitely do. Well, I can give like half of the fun fact and give a new spin. I have been looking into my family's heritage since 1976. So it's been a long time, and I was a kid in 1976, going to like libraries and all of that to do all this stuff. And since then, I've done a lot with Ancestry.com.
Awesome.
Um,
And Fran Jesse, introduce yourself real fast.
well, my name is Fran Jesse, and I am the Spice Lady, and Alignable has allowed me to do that. So to come out in character, and I came on as my character today just to have fun. I didn't start that way, but it was suggested that, why not? So I did it. And my fun fact, I suppose, is I also have been on Alignable for 10 years, but not, and have known Sue for all that time, back in 2014, 15. But however, did not become active until Sue told me. Sue told me, you've got to be on Alignable. You got to come to my mastermind. You got to do this. You got to do that. And believe me, Sue is such an influencer. I listen, and so I follow. I've been still following her. We're still buddies, and I wouldn't leave this platform for the world. Okay, thank you.
Wow. Awesome. Anyway, Fran told me one time that I said, "Why are you here? Like, you're not on here all the time and everything." She goes, "It's kind of like church. It's there. You can't, you go when you can go." And you do, I just thought that was cute. All right. Let's see. Anna Marie.
Hello, hello. Um, my company is Living Your Life Coaching, and I've been on Alignable for about 4 years, really active right after COVID because I wanted to start meeting people in person. Fun fact, I've had metal rods in my back for 45 years.
Oh my.
Crazy, right? Here I
Wow, that was
am.
amazing. Oh, well, that's a good one. Barbara, how about you?
Well, I'm Barbara Cassidy, and I am from Branson, Missouri, and I run two Alignable Alliance meetings. One's in Springfield and one's in Branson. Fun fact about me, well, I'm in health and wellness, but the fun fact about me is I shock everybody when I tell them that I was born without the sense of smell.
Oh
And
my.
yeah, don't feel sorry for me because I'm so used to it, it doesn't faze me in the least. It's like a blind man can sense. I feel because I can't smell. So to me, it's not a big deal. But with what I do for a living, it surprises everybody. So, and I'm like Fran, Sue said, you need to be an ambassador. So it was like, ah, here I go.
Oh, like everybody does what I say, sure.
Well, we make
Well,
it sound
on this call, they sure do.
That's so funny. Yes, I've met all of these people in person, and that's why I love them, and I want to bring them on because they have a lot of things to share. But do you want to kick us off, Chuck, on any great questions we can start out with? Go for it.
Well, I really would. Yes, I'd love to know from Barbara what gambling is like in Branson. No, I'm teasing. What I'd really like to know, I'd really like to know uh, what your experience was with the contest. Because again, we have a lot of contest winners watching, and is this your first year being a winner? What's the story there?
I think I'm visible. I've really worked on being visible within my community.
Yeah.
Um, I personally did not go out and ask for votes at all.
Oh,
I'm one that my whole business, my whole everything is based on being authentic.
right.
So, yeah, I think that's why is because I've made myself very visible, within the Springfield Branson area.
Terrific.
Great.
And also helped a number of people, I'm sure.
Mhm.
So, okay, very good. Very good. Anna Marie, how about you? Talk to us about your experience with the contest this year or in past years.
I think the contest is a lot of fun. You get to review all of the people that you're in contact with and, revisit, because what it did for me was help me revisit the folks that I haven't seen in a while. I haven't spoken to and been able to chat with. I did, ask for some, votes, absolutely, by the folks I'm really close with. I would love to have your vote. Um, in saying that, it's just a lot of fun because you get to see as people are growing and who's, and I'm not really, well, okay, I can say I'm not a competition kind of gal, but I had on the top 50, I was in battle with another person. And so I was like, I'm on the top. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. But it was just a lot of fun to be able
It
to
is fun.
it is fun to, to go back and review and see all of those people that you have connection with.
Right, right. And you know what? And there's no, whether you ask for votes or not, we always encourage people, listen, if you're going to ask for votes, ask from people that know, like, and trust you,
Yes. Yes.
like that, and that's how you ideally should do it. But well, I'm glad you both had fun with it and you had slightly different experiences. Um,
Fran's a
uh,
winner too. She won accidentally, kind of, but
Fran will talk to us about that. Yes.
Well, I don't have a big network here and where I live, and I have exposed myself to the country. And so I get most everybody. In fact, my visibility with my character helps a lot. And so and the people that I meet, because it's all about, I mean, to me, it's about sharing and helping and referring and what can I do for you? And
Right.
it's not about like what I've got to sell. People usually know, but and so I always feel a little bit like I don't deserve it, but evidently I do because it's the country that has been voting for me. So I I it's just a real honor, an honor.
Well,
awesome.
and you do deserve it. Yes, you're a real giver. I mean, I know that from a couple years back.
Mm.
So, yeah, and that's really, that's why we celebrate the givers in the contest and really across all of Alignable too. I mean, that's really the secret. Be a giver, keep giving, keep helping, keep assisting, share your expertise. And you know what? It all comes back to you and it feels good to give.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? Let's keep going on this same kind of thing. What Fran just said is she created this brand, right? I talk about her, and here's the thing. She has the absolute best icon picture of anyone on Alignable. It's so cute. That picture that's on her screen in the background there. She uses that for her picture on Alignable, and it's like, who doesn't want to? That just stands out when you're looking at a list of members that stands out. And Anna Marie and Barbara, you guys are ambassadors, and you and also Anna Marie too. I'm going to go to you next because you actually run or help run the women business owners group, right? You're like super, you
This isn't.
make sure you're visible. So
Yes. Yes,
go.
absolutely. And being an ambassador, it's funny because I, starting with Alignable, I was invited to Alignable by somebody I didn't even know. it just appeared in my email. I mean, just the strangest thing. I didn't know who he was. And so I was like, well, let me check this thing out. Right. And so within the first week of me being on there, I met Karen Scott. Some of you may know who she is. She's an amazing, amazing woman, coach, and she just empowers everybody that she meets. And we decided to collaborate and create the Girlfriend Hour Summit within a week. So, and we have been friends ever since. I mean, real close friends. We talk to each other all the time. And so being on Alignable has brought up I mean, the being in, so she said to me, be an ambassador, because I kept telling her, you know, here in Arizona, I can't. All right, I'll make a long story really longer. All right, we moved to Arizona in 2020, 2 weeks before the pandemic hit.
Oh,
And so I had nothing. I mean, nothing. So I had to start reinventing myself. And so Alignable started with that. That's when I met Karen. And so she was like, I told her, I need to meet people. I want to be face to face, shake hands, hug somebody, you know, get to know people in my town. She said, why don't you become an ambassador? And I'm like, what's that? So I said, okay, cool. I'm going to become an ambassador. So did my research on Alignable, found out how to be an ambassador. We set up our alliance, and I had like 10 people the first month. And the second month I had 15. The next month I had 25. We're up to 50 people right now. And so I'm really excited. Thank you. I'm really excited about that because every month we just seem to keep growing and growing and growing. And I'm going to put a plug in for April 8th. We all need to go to that.
yes.
If you haven't seen the alliance where everybody's getting together, join us April 8th.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
neat.
that's local, just the
Yeah,
people.
that's local. Yeah.
But you guys could all fly in from wherever you are.
Yeah, that would be fun. Do it.
Awesome. So I just want you to hear the theme of showing up. And I tell everybody at all of my educational events, I'm going to go to Barbara next, but I tell everybody anytime you have a chance to put your smiling face on a screen, do that because it's a networking opportunity, you know, and you three are you really have your brand down. Like, who doesn't notice Anna Marie and her red hair? It's like amazing. Her hair is amazing. And then Barbara, she has this giant crown she holds on her. So Barbara, tell more about how you're becoming visible and alignable. What happened with you? Yeah.
Well, it's true. I am branded not only by the crown that I put in a lot of my photos, but I am also branded by, are you ready for this? My feet. It's been a 17-year journey of actually irritating my kids 17 years ago. So now people know me by Zesty Zelda, who is my alter ego, which is my feet. So that's how I branded.
Awesome. So tell a little bit about Maria, how you get more visibility on Alignable, like not just, well, obviously being an ambassador, but any other ways.
Right. I do try to attend as many smart connects as I can. However, my business is like jam-packed every day with running that. But I'm very diligent and very much on hand with my my area communities. So I'll post in the Branson, Springfield surrounding areas at least once, if not twice a week, asking questions. I don't always get engagement, but I'm front and center. So the Springfield group that's just blowing up. I mean, that one is well on its way to being a very, very, very strong alliance meeting. And Branson is slowly growing, but I remember Branson is this itty bitty town. And we have, I think the population might be 12,000 now, with anywhere between 3.5 to 4 million visitors a year. So, it's kind of sporadic. But that's how I stay visible more than anything, is within my community. So, because I am also, Anna, new to my area. So.
Yes, awesome.
I just want to make a quick comment on Barbara talking about smart connects, because I run I'm a host for a couple of smart connects. And it's not really about being the host. That gets me seen, that gets me out there. But participating in the Smart Connects and getting to meet other people, I think that's really important as well.
I wholeheartedly agree. We'll meet people we would never, ever
Yes.
usually
Yes.
have the opportunity to talk to. Agree.
Awesome. And by the way, I want you guys to, anybody that has a question for anybody here, put it in the chat and we'll try to get to it. But let's talk about Smart Connects. Can you guys give your best tips or even a success story of someone you met in a Smart Connect that ended up becoming something for your business? So, Barbara, you got your hand up. I'll let you go first.
I will share this, and I share this in my Alignable Alliance meetings also. So if you know me very well. I do not do numbers. Don't throw numbers at me. I'll go totally blank and I'll totally ignore you. So I was on a Smart Connect with this guy and he sends me a message and I'd really like to do a one-on-one with you. And I thought, oh, a finance guy. Oh, macro. Do I or don't I? And I thought, nah, I will, and I'll just suffer through it, right? If we're going to go into all these figures or anything like that. Well, come to find out, whatever you do in a Smart Connect or somebody that wants to connect with you, go outside the box with your thought. So when we got on Zoom and he said, I have been wanting to talk to you because you can help me. And I went, oh, how can I help you? I have created a wellness form that he uses for his people. So, and he'll send them that. He sends it to me and then I send them back to them when I've got them well.
So you would become referral partners essentially for each other.
And totally, I mean, that would have never been somebody I would have ever dreamt of being able to make a connection with. So that's where I think the beauty of Smart Connects come.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Do you have either of you, Fran? Fran, you don't do a lot of Smart Connects. You set up one-to-ones more, or do you have any ideas or suggestions on either Smart Connects or the one-to-ones that you've had with people?
I do them all.
Yeah.
I mean, I do them as I can. So when I go out and I find sometimes I have time and I'll hop on. And when I'm in a Smart Connect, it doesn't matter who I meet. And when we are open to, meeting each other, I let it flow, just it's whoever takes over the conversation, it's fine. And it always works out perfectly. And at the end of those Smart Connects, I always go into when you get the list of members that attended and connect with everybody, whether I've met them at the Smart Connect or not, and just connect with them. And the same thing on your masterminds or any mastermind I attend. Because I love to attend masterminds. I wish I had less to do so that I could be more unalignable because I love just meeting people. So the same thing with the masterminds. I'll go into your list and I'll connect with everybody that I haven't connected with, whether I saw them or not. It's just a matter of just those are ways that I have of using my connections, and then they expose me. And then what was the other thing? There was one more thing.
Well, you can go on about the mastermind because we haven't talked about that.
Right.
Oh, well, the mastermind is something that has helped me immensely as far as like Sue has a mastermind every Friday. And it's, I've been attending it, not lately because there've been lots going on this side of my world, but it's like I've met more people in that mastermind by attending regularly. And the people that show up to give the advice are I mean, I can't tell you, I love just about everybody. 99% of the people on Alignable I love because they have heart. They're out there just taking care of meeting people. There's no other platform in the world like Alignable. I mean, the visibility you get, the opportunities you get, the consistency you get of the value of the people, the groups that you can join, the education you can get. Everybody's helpful. You need to, if you just ask a question and you find somebody with the right in the genre that understands what you do, they're more than willing to come and help you. I could go on and on, so I'll let somebody else talk.
So, Chuck, do you have some questions for them? Should we keep going on this?
Well, I did have a quick question for Fran. Fran, how often do you show up at a Smart Connect in character?
I haven't. I just usually keep it in my background. I kind of like to be subtle, you know, and
Okay.
I don't usually come on with my character unless I'm doing an event.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
and
Maybe you
it's
should.
I don't know. I have not. It's, I don't know why.
Well, you probably just want to present yourself and not your
Yeah, yeah.
character,
I try to be
probably.
me, you know, and not to push anything on, you know,
Right,
but
right.
it is fun. I mean, Alignable has helped me develop this character because I needed to get I wanted to get attention, and I this character came from the Let's Make a Deal 2017. Sue and a group went to Let's Make a Deal, and I said, what shall I be? Well, I am the spice lady. I'm into sell I was selling that was my product, spices and herbs and for health benefits. And so I said, what should I be? I went to the party store, I bought the hat and the apron, and then I could, you know, I print and do all the graphics. And so I made my signs, and we went to Let's Make a Deal. So when Alignable came along, I had the perfect character.
That's great.
You know, everything happens for a reason, and I have kept her. And when I first started, you know, being the spice lady, I do no, it's this is too much for people. I took me a while, but I own it. You know, it's like this is me for the rest of my life.
I love
That's
it.
great.
I love it. So, Anna Marie, do you just run the women business owner groups, or do you have another group that you're running too? I'm trying to remember.
I do. I have another group. It's called Empowered Journeys.
Okay, tell us about the groups, and any tips you have for people in groups would be amazing to hear.
Right.
You know, I love the groups because it's a little more personalized. So in the women business owners, it's all women and they're all business owners, and they're eager not only to learn but to share what they've done. You know, their experience. This worked, this didn't, maybe this will. Getting out there and empowering women is one of my most passionate things that I do, is to, you know, help women grow. And so being in a specific group, and it's any group, right? There's so many. I'm in a group that is, it talks about your elevator speech, right? I wasn't very good at that. So I found a group, got in it, and now I'm really good at it. You can pick a group and really, you know, grow in that group, which then again grows your presence because they see you and then they share who you are. And I think that's what's important to me, is not just me I've gotten clients from my groups, you know, and I've gotten referrals from my groups, but for me it's collecting the names of people that I then can refer, right? So I get a lot of people that say, Anna Marie, I need a really good marketer. And I pull up my list and I say, well, here's three. Right now you can, and I'll give them their information and you can, you know, get in touch with them, whichever, or I'll make that introduction right there on Alignable. So whatever they're comfortable with. So I let them know I'm going to introduce you to these people. But I think that's what's important about groups, is getting in, getting involved. Even if you see a post and you're not going to respond, at least hit like, you know, that lets the other folks know that you're paying attention, right? So, but
Yeah.
it's nice to be in groups. I love them. Yeah.
Love it. Go ahead, Barbara.
Can I add to that? Because for me, I have found what Alignable has given me, myself, and I is that I think it's priceless, that friendships,
Yes.
like
Mhm.
Anne said, support,
Mhm.
a network that aligns with my values.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't see that sense of community anywhere else in networking at the present time.
Wow.
And I will tell you that I have been on other platforms that are similar to Alignable, and I just don't even. Alignable is my platform. This is where I stay. You know, so many people say, "Why aren't you on those other ones?" Well, I'm there. You know, they can find me there. But I tell everybody there to come here. This is where you want to connect with me. This is where I'm active.
I
So
love it. Did you have another question, Chuck?
I did. I wanted to find out from Fran. Fran, is there a daily routine you have on Alignable?
Well, I always go in, I always get a lot of interaction from people, whether they're calling for a new connection or something. And I always go in to see, to answer and to respond to anything that I have going on. Sometimes I'm able to spend more time. Like I said, I wish I didn't have to so much time invested in trying to just work, I would love to spend a lot more time, but it's just knowing it's there. And how much time do I spend? Oh, at least let's say 15 to 2 hours a day, depending on what's going on. Sometimes it's at least 10 minutes and sometimes a couple of hours, depending on who I'm communicating with. If you have a one-on-one meeting with somebody, which I do quite often as I can, that's the greatest thing, because then you spread your that's how I meet the most people, and find out how to really, I've made some good friends. Just, and I would definitely, if I was I have to be, let's see, the process of being a member, just to come in and just take what you can hear from, like being a free member versus being a paid member. I decided to pay for the premium because I want the full services, and you get the benefits from meeting all the people. It's not like you're just in all the educational things that Alignable has to offer. So it's not only just the time that I spend on a daily basis, it's the value I get when it's there, and I use it all the time. I can't even tell you the minutes, okay, actually.
Okay, well, so you're checking in every day, wait
Oh yeah.
for as much as you can. Okay, Anna Marie, how about you?
Oh my gosh. I do a lot on Alignable. So uh, some weeks I'm on there for 10 hours. Some weeks it's just an hour. It's the first thing that I open every morning. I go into my messages, I go into my notifications, and then I like to post at least, 3 times a week to try to, just encourage people to continue on. But I am in there with the events and everything every event I do is through Alignable. So if I do a workshop, it's through Alignable. If when I do my summit, it's through Alignable, right? And so I'm starting a new forum. We're going to be putting that on Alignable. So we're going to start doing everything I do is through Alignable. So you can pop in my name and look at all of the events that I'm part of. The fun part about doing the events is that you then get to connect with them afterwards. It's not they join, like if you did somewhere else, right? You don't really get the connection. But I get to see who joined my event, and now I can reach out and say, I'm so excited that you were there. Let's do a one-on-one. I'd love to learn more about you.
Wow, I love that. So do you post your events? Do you do events like on Zoom and then post them as promotion or product or something on your profile, or because you're a group leader, you post the events in your groups? How do you do that?
I do post them when I'm as a group leader. I post them as an event. When I post in my area, what I do is I create the post as a discussion, and because there's no way to create an event, but I put it as a discussion with the Zoom link at the bottom where you can join us here, so that way they know where to go.
Yeah, and I'm going to add this, and maybe you could do this too, Anna Marie, and anyone else. If you are hosting an event, especially a local event,
Mm-hmm.
and you post it as a promotion on your profile, it will show up in the newsletter, so everyone will see it in your community. So that's
Okay, folks, I just want to show you right there. That's why we all follow Sue.
Yeah.
She
Yes,
has the tips.
well, Chuck runs the newsletter, which goes out every single Sunday. I like wait until it shows up in my email box every Sunday, and at the bottom it'll say, "Oh, here's what's going on in your community," because they're all according to communities, right? Chuck, do you have any? Because I don't know how it all works, but go ahead and tell
Yeah,
them.
no, they all the communities get plugged into the center part of the newsletter. We usually have two sort of national stories, or they could apply to anybody. across the US or Canada. And then we have the local section, which I know we're doing some revisions of. The UX people are doing that, which is exciting. And then we usually have a story or two at the bottom too. So
Nice.
yeah, my biggest advice is once you get your newsletter, read through the whole thing because it's there's not a lot of copy. I try to do only 22, 23 word little blurbs under some, some promos and click to it and click to the event or click to the poll or whatever. Try to make it really easy and not dense. But yeah, and that's why those, you post your events and that's why they do pop out.
Yep. See, I hope everybody learned something today. Barbara.
I just did that. I did an event. I call them gatherings at my home, and I put it into the promo and into Alignable, and it did come up on the newsletter. But I really have to share this. I was in the Branson Home Show, which I am every year, and this guy walks by and he looks and says, "Who's Barbara?" And I said, "I am one." He goes, "I see your name everywhere." And I said, "I don't know you. I've never seen you. I've never met you." It's from the newsletter, Chuck.
Wow.
And he has really become very supportive.
Wow.
Very important. I just wanted to share that for you.
That's
Wow.
nice. Thank you. That's the best news I've had all day. Fantastic.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh. So hey, so now I would just wait for even more free PR. That's like free PR.
Yeah, I'm
It
loving it.
is.
Yeah. That's
By the way, everyone, tomorrow, mark your calendars, but the caveat is you have to be a verified premium or premium plus member, but Chuck in our Alignable Insider community, I'll post a link to it. If you are a paid member on Alignable and have any of those badges, you can come to Chuck's very first event. I've been begging him to do this forever, and it's called How to Get Free PR for Your Business. It's tomorrow. You do not want to miss that. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about it for a second, Chuck.
Great.
I was thinking of this because in the newsletter, you always post polls, and that's a good way to get possibly, like we were talking about last week, getting, Shar on national TV. Talk about that too.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk about the event really quick. Then I'll talk about the polls. But so the event is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's an hour, and I have 7 major tips to share with people. I've been doing PR for 33 years. So it's been a big part of my life and continues to be. And there are some shortcuts that anyone can use. So please tune in for that. Whether you're a contest winner or not, we do have a little section at the beginning for the contest winners, because that is news you can share with your local community. So that's one. And then secondly, we do have the polls that go out, and I am trying to have another poll on Saturday, which will end up in the Sunday newsletter. And these are about different topics, usually economic topics, but sometimes we have some networking topics. And we encourage as many small business owners to take those polls, because then we take those polls and we turn them into stories that we pitch the national media, the local media, and sometimes the national media reaches out, as they did with Shar, and say, "Hey, Chuck, can you find some small business people who can comment on whatever it is, whether it's the economy, whether it's rent, whether it's the price of gas." Tariffs, of course, are huge right now, anything like that. And, I usually send out to different people, the ambassadors first, certainly, and then others. And I say, "Hey, folks, who wants to have a shot at this?" So, I'm basically trying to make all of you more famous than you were before you showed up at Alignable. Let's put it that way.
Awesome, awesome. So, okay, we still have some time left here. Okay, we always get new members that are watching the replays of this. I get a lot of people watching the replays or that are actually in the room
Yes.
listening today. I want to know all of your number one best tips for a new member that's just joining, because we know people are on social media and they're so used to that same Facebook stuff and LinkedIn spam stuff, and they're here trying to do the same thing that they would do on those other ones, but they don't get it. So let's hear your best tips, and let's start with, I don't know who is it. Barbara, go ahead.
I say this at all events that what you get from Alignable is actually what you put into it. So approach Alignable with intention. It's not about a sale. It's not about bringing anybody into your business. It's about making meaningful and lasting relationships and connections. And I just feel if you value real, true relationships with a deeper kind of support, you're going to find it on Alignable. But you have to put the time in. There are so many resources. Find your niche and go with it.
Oh, I have to say
Excellent.
this to that. Thank you for that so much, Barbara, because you know what? I was just reading through a bunch of people do feedback or about, their I can't remember, I don't know what you call it, but about Alignable. And the ones that were like we got bad reviews. They were reviews on Alignable. And they all say this, I didn't get one darn customer on Alignable. And I'm like, here's what I think of the people that join chambers of commerce they join the chamber and they just sit there. They don't do anything. They don't use any of the features. They use none of the stuff that they get. They don't go to any of the events. And what do they think? They're going to join things like the chambers or Alignable or whatever. And we're just going to go, oh, here's some customers for free. Here you go. Oh, thank you, Barbara. You got to put in the work.
It's not, it's not the build it and they will come. It don't happen when you're looking for relationships, y'all. It just doesn't.
Oh my God, that was perfect. How about you,
That
Anna?
is.
Oh my God.
Well,
How
when
about
you
Alignable 360? Have you guys used Alignable 360 that helps to match you with your contacts, the best customers for you based on what you have in your profile?
Yes, yes, I've started using that. They pop up they pop up in a couple of different places, but they pop up in my notifications. This is a good
Right.
match for you. And so I will click on that and then I connect and we go forward from there. But absolutely, it makes it so I don't have to go searching for stuff, and click here and click here. It's showing up right where I am. It's really kind of cool, actually.
Yes.
And when you join, one of the tips I'll give you is as a new member, you have the little picture where you can put the little picture on your profile. I think it says logo. I know that they're thinking about changing that,
Oh,
but
they
my
did change it. They
did what?
changed it. They changed it.
Oh,
It's
yay!
now for your picture underneath the banner now.
Yes, because that's what I say. There's the banner and then your picture. Put your picture there. We love to see smiling faces, or like Fran, if you have a costume, use it, right? Put it there. It'll be okay. We'll love that. But I'm just going to say this: Alignable is like networking on rocket fuel. When you
Yeah.
show up with a heart, and authenticity, when you are real, right? Because that's what this is all about. It's just meeting people, getting to know them. I have so many good friends that I have met. I met my hairstylist on Alignable, right?
Really?
So you can find, when you just come up, be who you are, right? And they, like she said, find your niche, be who you are, be authentic, be real. Because when people get to know you, trust you, and like you, your world, and it not just about selling stuff, but your world starts to expand in the relationships that you have. And to me, that is the most important thing.
Oh my God, the nuggets, I'm getting chills. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Fran, what's your tips for everybody? You really know how to show up, so go ahead.
Okay, well, my first thought came to mind about your banners. If I'm new on Alignable, even if I'm new on Alignable or not new on Alignable, when I go to kind of look through people on Alignable, who am I attracted to? Am I attracted to somebody that only has their name there? Or am I attracted to people that really try to really put something on their banner to tell who they were, to do some, interesting points about it? The banner and your profile is so important. There's so many ways to get information to put on your profile today to make it more compelling for a reader to be in enjoy and want to meet you. So that's one of the big things for me about why people do not come on there and they don't do anything with that. I realize that and not everybody's graphically savvy, but if they're in business, they have to do something to put their image out there. So it's a big one.
That is a very big one. And that banner, I talk about that all the time. I've traveled in all over this country and seen billboards, thousands of them. And somebody said this to me once about LinkedIn, is that banner is your billboard. What is that billboard? Is that going to get them to go, ooh, I got to read the rest of this? Like I tell everybody, I don't know if there's any Texans in the room here, but Texas Bucky's billboards are the best ones on the planet. Oh yeah, Barbara, you have a house in Texas. Bucky's billboards make me stop at every Bucky's. Everyone. I don't care. It's just, okay, they're the best billboards. So how can you make your billboard like Fran's in the background there with her, like who doesn't want to connect with that? And going back to the Alignable 360, thanks for bringing that up, Chuck. Alignable 360 is only works if you have your ideal customer and your ideal referral partner tags on your profile chosen, the right ones. Nothing on Alignable is going to work. None of the Alignable 360. It's not going to work unless you tell Alignable and anyone that visits your profile who you're looking for. Everybody wants to meet an ideal customer, and even better is an ideal referral partner. And I think
Right.
Barbara sort of brought that up. It's like if your intention is to meet somebody that's just, you're going to try, well, if your intention is to sell everybody something, it's not going to work because you're going to turn people off. But if your intention is, I'm going to meet some people that I might have a whole bunch of Anna Marie's ideal customers in my network, and she has some in mind, we can be really good referral partners, right? So, any of you guys tried the Alignable 360 very much? Have you gone into your network and asked to be introduced or helped other people? I know Anna Marie said you did a little bit. Go ahead, Anna Marie, if you have some more to talk about that.
Well, as a matter of fact, just this morning, I had 2 introductions that someone who connected me with somebody else. Not just me sending that introduction, but I received 2 introductions. And I thought, okay, this is really kind of neat. So I get to jump into it. So I just go in and play with it. I go and look at it, And so, but I suggest you go in, look at those, right? And introduce some people. Let them know that, hey, you 2 would be a really good match.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. How about you, Barbara?
I haven't used it enough to really speak on it, but I am one that I refer probably almost every day on Alignable. It's so easy to do, and it's so gratifying to have people say, oh, you would do that for me? Absolutely, I would do that for you. Don't be afraid to ask for referrals. That's what I tell my people, ask for them. I end all my meetings with, how can I help you this month?
I love it. How about you, Fran? Any tips?
Well, I'm not really great on using the 360 yet, but however, another big deal that I have is whenever I have a one-on-one to immediately before I do anything else is give them my recommendation and make sure that it's a, a lengthy explanation of how our meeting and who they really are, so that I can not only can I remember them, but it's like it's like meaningful to me to make sure that my recommendation is given, because that's one of the things that people look at for another person, is not only who wrote their recommendation, but what they said, how many they got. I do that all the time. I say, well, how many recommendations does this person have and who wrote them? And I don't accept recommendations from anybody unless I know them. And I get recommendations almost every day from people trying to, do the alignable and not in the correct way. And I don't, sometimes I feel like sometimes I should write to them, but I don't have time to chase them down so that in that respect. So those are a couple of things I pay attention to.
I am so happy you brought this recommendations thing up. And Chuck, you might want to speak to this too, but I want to ask Anna Marie and Barbara. Recommendations changed my life personally before I even started working in Alignable, and I moved to the new location and I meet people, and later I would get a phone call, literally phone calls of people saying, I saw my friend Donna recommended you on Alignable. I want to hire you. And it really is, those recommendations are golden. And I love that you said, Fran, that I'm the same way. I will not accept a recommendation that's not authentic. And I only write authentic recommendations as well. I'm not going to write a recommendation to someone that I don't know, like, and trust, because it's my reputation on the line. So do you guys have anything to say about recommendations, Anna Marie?
Yes. Before you give a recommendation, do a one-on-one. Get to know them.
Yes.
Find out who they are, right? And if they're way off the mark, you don't have to give one, right? But if you can just feel their that they're just being true and authentic, if they really are, then I will go in and write them a recommendation.
I love it. Barbara?
I'm the same way, unless I've actually spoken with you. And sometimes I have to speak to you twice before I'll write a recommendation, because way back in the very beginning of this segment, I talked about number one is authenticity with me, not only for myself, but for others. And you can't write a recommendation if you haven't really spoken with them. And so I always tell people, go to the Alignable University, because you do have that interview up, I think it was with Tom Kavanaugh,
Yes.
with how to write a recommendation. And I highly recommend you listen to that, because I think that's where the gold is. Just, I met her and I like her, that means absolutely nothing. So that would be a really good video for anybody new to actually go and listen to, along with others. Your profile ones is pretty good too. I recommend that all the time also.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I take a ton of notes when I do one-on-ones, and then I go back to my notes of those aha moments or those gold nuggets, and I take those pieces, and that's how I create my recommendation, is by what we're talking about. And if my page is blank when we're done talking on my one-on-one and my page is blank, then we'll have to, like you said, we'll have to meet again and see what happens then. So
awesome. So we have about 7 more minutes, Chuck. What else do you want to know? What else do we want to know from these wonderful ladies?
Well, is there anything else that you folks feel that people ought to know who are just brand new? Just, they rolled into this, somehow they found us and they ended up at this event.
Or what not to do too. I love hearing people tell
Yeah,
what they
either one, to do or what not to do.
Okay. Oh, Barbara, go ahead.
No elevator pitches, please. That's my number one. The minute you start pitching, I turn you off.
I love it.
unless it's real, unless it's heartfelt and really truly who you are.
It's not very often that happens.
Yeah. Go ahead, Fran.
One of the things when you join anything new is having a concept in mind, and how can I help you? Just be helpful. And if you go in with that mindset, you will get 20,000 times back what you went in with. It's a turning around of, like, not what can I sell you, or what can you get, what can I get from you money wise and what you're going to buy from me and everything. But if you just say, how can I help you? I can't even explain how that really works, but, and also be patient because it takes time. It's not an overnight situation. Be in for the long run. Keep coming back. Just keep coming back. And then just eventually it's like, well, there is a phrase for that, and somebody else can have to come up with it right now because it slips my mind. But um, before you know it, you look back and you know, 10 miles down the road and look what you have accomplished. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be interested. It's better to be interested than interesting. I love that saying.
that's
Yeah.
more like
And
that's
one
what
of
I kind of went to say. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the things too that I love when I do my Smart Connects. One of the things, it's just so important. This is not a place to sell something. This
Right.
is a place to build relationships.
Right.
Real people, right? And that's what I have truly found. Most people on Alignable are real people. They want to get to know who I am, not about what they can sell me. And so if you take that, so, if I get to know who you are, right, then I know how to support you. And that's the other thing I always ask. And every one-on-one that you have, every Smart Connect, how can I support you today? If you do that first, everything else will just rain down on the love and the fun that you will have. I have more fun in Alignable than I do anywhere else.
I've
Barbara.
got a tip I'd like to share. When I do Smart Connects, which kind of addresses what Anna Marie is talking about, right on my laptop keyboard right here, I've got questions that I ask,
Ooh.
and it keeps the conversation flowing where they're not interested in telling me about their business. I always gear to them. And one of them is, what sets you apart in your field? What is your purpose? What is your why? What is your personal story? Who is your ideal customer? Do you have a client story to share? Who is your best referral partner? And what do you like best about your business? And that will take a little bit of time to get through those questions, but it keeps the conversation going in the direction that personally I feel I would like to have it go.
Oh my gosh, you gotta hear those. Those are
I
great.
want that list, Barbara.
Yeah.
Okay, I think everybody's gonna want the list. I don't know if you
Everyone wants that list. I wrote down 5 of those questions.
I'll put it in the chat. How's that?
Okay, thank
that
you.
would be amazing. I love those questions because because they're actually, it's not asking them, what do you do? Tell me what you do. Tell me about your business. How can I help you get new customers? It's not like that. It's like,
No.
really want to get to know you. Like, I love, what's your story? I like, that's one of mine. I just love asking
Yeah.
people what their stories are, but absolutely. Yeah. Everybody wants those questions on the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 more minutes left. I want to make sure that I posted in the chat the Alignable University group link. That's where you can find any Alignable education events. Like, I'm on Alignable Now What. Even if you've been on Alignable for a while, come to that because I'm actually doing the newest and latest updated 360 training. I'm also any new features, like the newest feature a few months ago, they made that thing that used to be the for your logo, it's now for your picture. The logo goes in the side column, things like that. And there's other things in there like a profile workshop, my ideal customer and referral partner. You have to come to that or watch the replay in the Alignable University group because I talk about Fran in there. And Fran is one of the people that her story of how she used to market to everybody her products. And when she started narrowing it down and knows exactly who each one of her ideal customers is, everything changed. So definitely watch that one. And let's see what else is in that list. I hope you see it in the chat. There's the member success series, the replays. You can go binge watch all the last ones of this. You can, I also post the upcoming ones. Next week, don't miss this. We are interviewing Martin Brosman, who's amazing. He's been on Alignable probably longer than I have, or
Longer than anybody. Yep.
And he's amazing. And then I'm really excited because E.G. Sebastian, who
Yes.
is the ambassador in, I get emotional because it's in Asheville, North Carolina, and I got to meet him. I got to be there a week before the hurricane, and I got to meet his members there. And it was so, my heart just breaks for that community, and they're still suffering. And we're going to interview him next week. So please go to the Alignable University group and register for next week. Really, really amazing. The members only group, the Alignable Alliance, if you want to see if there's an alliance near you, or join either of these people's alliance, or if you want to be a group leader. Anything else, Chuck? We kind of are out of time, but I really want to thank you guys for being here.
We are out of time. Thank you, everyone. All our guests were fantastic. The audience was fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next week. And I'll see you tomorrow at 3. Sue and I will see you tomorrow at 3 too.
Definitely.
What was that link, Chuck? I'm looking for it again.
Which link?
The Chuck's meeting tomorrow.
Yeah,
you have to be, it's inside the Alignable Insider community. I can't post the link to the event because it's
Alignable Insider community. Okay.
Yes. Got it. Make sure you're in that group. You have to be a premium plus or verified member. Okay. And you can register for all of the events there. There's office hours in that group where you can talk directly to us. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. So thanks.
Alignable Insiders Community, AIC. Yep.
Thank you, Barbara, Anna Maria. I'm so excited you got to come
today.
Yes.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Anna Maria.
Yes, Fran. Nice to meet you. And Barbara, let's reconnect.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Everyone, connect with these ladies. Everybody go back to the event post and make sure you connect with them and set up some time to meet with them. They are absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys. I love you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good
Honored.
one.